What's up, y'all? You like my new intro? I do it. That means I don't gotta do an intro every time, but this will be my playthrough of Dark Souls Re-Remastered. Why? Well, because I love the Souls games, and this mod looks really cool, and this is part of my plan to go through all the Souls games and record them all for posterity reasons. If anybody else likes to watch, great. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. If you want to co-op, let me know. I'm not doing PvP right now because this is not going to be a PvP build, but when I get to meta level, maybe, because I hate fighting twinks, and I don't want to be a twink, and I don't use honest merchant, or I don't dupe gear, or titanite shards, or any of that crap, because that's cheating. And yeah. So here I am. I plan on doing like an intelligence strength type build. I would like to get to and use Manus Catalyst and a Pyromancy Flame. I'd use Dark Sorceries and then the Dark Fire, whatever that's called. I've never done that before. For anybody who knows me, every playthrough I like to do something different. I never use meta stuff. I don't dupe, I don't use Honest Merchant, I don't do any of that crap. I have PvP'd, I have PvE'd. I'm not super sweaty. But I'm not, I know what I'm doing a little bit. This is the beginning of my plan to play all the Souls games. Bloodborne is going to be a bit of a pain because I have it on PS4. And then Demon Souls, I don't know what I'm going to do about Demon Souls. I don't have a PS5. I sold my PS3 a long time ago, so I'll figure that one out when it comes to it. But if you would like to see the beginning of my Elden Ring Let's Play, that is already on here. I did change builds because using Dragon, Faith, Arcane, whatever, really boring. And then Ultra Weapons get boring after a while. So I switched up the build.
The world was unformed,
Let's listen to this.
shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Quite a BA intro. Every single time. Love it. Yeah. For those who haven't played Demon Souls, it's funny
Yes,
how
indeed.
Demon Souls and Dark Souls are like a
The
one-to-one.
dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Notice anything different? So the Re-Remastered, what it is basically, it takes most of the textures from the original Dark Souls and ports them into Remastered, and it upscales them. And also it changes the lighting to be more like the original Dark Souls, so it's a lot darker in certain parts. Also it adds reflections to things. It adds more foliage. It adds more wind effects to things. It adds more fog. So I'm loving it so far. It's like pretty much mandatory, unless you like how they remaster things these days. They just make them super bright and AI upscale them a little bit. That's it. So I'm really enjoying this. I think this mod is going to be a permanent addition to my load order for this game. And you know, I am playing online, and this mod may get you banned, but what you want to do is use the PvP overhaul, because it takes you out of the regular anti-cheat or whatever, and it puts you into a handmade PowerShell type thing, because people are going to cheat anyways. People cheat all the time in these Souls games now. It's really common, even with things like Honest Merchant. For those who don't know what Honest Merchant is, it gives you every single item in the game, unlimited. Basically everything's one soul, or you can change it to 0 in the INI. So people cheat with that, and people think it's not cheating. Oh, I would do it anyways for my PvP build. Like, it is cheating, because normally when I make a PvP build, I go through the game and I have to go get everything I need, and I can't just waste consumables because they're consumable, you know. And then that gives time for the other players to actually play, you know, the people who just want to co-op or whatever, or play human. And it gives a buffer. But when everybody's just using Honest Merchant and Wex Dust lets you invade anywhere at any time, basically. Things like that, people can just invade non-stop. So those things like that, they really harm the economy of the game. There's supposed to be a buffer in between. So like, if I'm making a PvP build, I might do some co-op just to get to the level I want to get to faster, or get the gear I want to get faster. But now if people can just get all the gear they want instantaneously, the the people who want to co-op aren't going to have many people to co-op with, because those people who would have been co-oping to go get their gear faster, or just made a new build and are going through the game again, don't exist anymore. They're just going to be invading. So all the Souls games have become very top heavy, and for PvP there's very little co-op, and you get invaded all the time, which is fine if you want a PvP, but it's like, yeah, I like PvP, but I've played these games many times and I've made a bunch of different builds. I've used all the really good weapons, so now I'm getting to the point where I'm doing mostly challenge runs. So I'm using builds that are less optimal. I'm using things that aren't very good for PvP because I already used all the good PvP weapons. And now people are getting better and they're cheating with Honest Merchant, or they're duping Titanite. I just had a guy invade me in my next video I will upload later. He may not have been using Honest Merchant because some of that stuff you can get early if you try. But he was taking like very little damage, so unless he went ahead and farmed Titanite too, which I really doubt. He was probably duping, and that's cheating.
I'm done for, I'm afraid.
But Dark Souls 1 is the most notorious for twinking. It's very easy to twink in compared to the other ones.
You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you. Now I would hate and thank you.
And yeah, cheating is very common in these games these days. If you deny it, you're full of shit, ignorant, or complicit. Oh my god, I was so nervous because I was recording and I haven't played Dark Souls for years. The original, and coming from Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3, it's just so different. And yeah, I was nervous. I missed a couple parries in the beginning because I don't want to look stupid, but I get warmed up later. But yeah, you can look on the discussions. People cheat all the time. Just go on the Nexus, look at all the mods that give you an edge. The mules, Honest Merchant, that kind of stuff. They got 100,000 downloads, so you can't say nobody's cheating. It's just stupid and ignorant. But yeah, so it's just super lame. So you'll see me if I'm human later, because I like to kindle. Sometimes I'll go offline, because in the beginning of Dark Souls 1, for those who haven't played much, it's twink central. When you get towards mid-game, people stop twinking. Yeah, see right there, horrible miss. There we go. Yeah, so in the beginning, you either better twink yourself in the form of using Honest Merchant or duping, or just, you know, get really sweaty and try really hard and get, like, you know, the Nito's curved sword, whatever it's called, I forget. Stuff like that. Because if you don't, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. And with Dark Souls PvP, it's the worst PvP. Demon Souls is probably worse, actually, but I didn't really get to PvP in that because I played on PS3 offline. But I hear it's very bad, and there are a lot of cheaters, and FromSoft didn't do anything. But yeah, like, if you're laggy a little bit, you're done. Like, if you start lagging, or your enemy starts lagging, just kiss your ass goodbye. There's ways to combat people who backstab fish. You know, I've killed backstab fishers plenty of times, but the thing is, you need the right weapon for it. Like, if your weapon is slow, and you're playing against an experienced backstab fisher, or parry king, like, there's nothing you can do. Usually the only way you can defeat an experienced person with a fast weapon is to have a fast weapon yourself. So I remember one time I was getting backstab fished. I was doing a Stone Knight cosplay, and I was just using the one-handed R1s. You know, they're huge horizontal swipes. And this guy kept trying to circle around me with, you know, Hornet Ring, one of the daggers or the rapier, I can't remember. And I just kicked his ass. He didn't even damage me because he was just fishing for backstabs. But you know the key, I'm going to give you the key right now to defeat backstab fishers if you're not lagging. Play unlocked. When people play locked on, it's just asking to get backstabbed if you're fighting an experienced person or a backstab fisher. But if you have a weapon that swings vertically, you're still fucked. Unless you're really good at aiming it unlocked. But yeah, playing locked on, you have to, if you can do it, but you gotta lock on, lock off at tactical moments. So hopefully I can get invaded by someone who's not twinking and showcase it.
In the ancient legends, it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
But yeah, so last night I was reading the discussions as I like to do, get a feel for what people are thinking, and one guy was talking about the PvP, because people were complaining about the PvP, of course, and this guy was defending it, and it's like I looked at it, he has 10,000 hours in this game, and that's on PC. I imagine how many he has on, you know, Xbox, if he played on Xbox or PS3 or whatever. So like if you're fighting somebody who's been playing for 10,000 hours, you better kiss your ass goodbye, unless you played that much. Like me, I only have like what, 300 hours on this game on PC, maybe a couple hundred on Xbox back in the day.
What do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Yeah, so in the beginning, because of twinking, I will usually play offline until I kindle the bonfires, and then I'll go back online. Because, yeah, like, if you get your ass beat fair and square, it's fine, but it's just the cheating is so common these days. And then it's hard to define the difference between a guy who's been playing 10,000 hours and a guy who's cheating. And especially if you have bad internet. I've had bad internet like 90% of my life, so yeah, even it's crazy. And nowadays I got a wife, I got a kid, I got stuff to do, I got, you know, my chronic pain to deal with, so it's like I just want to play the game. You know, I'm not trying to fight twinks, not trying to fight 10,000 hour sweats using meta tactics and all that. But I just hope someone of moderate, you know, my skill invades so I can, and they're going to try to backstab fish. Everybody tries to backstab fish. So I would just like to defeat a couple of them unlocked to help some people out. And because people play locked on all the time. And you'll see me a lot. I play unlocked, and in my Elden Ring playthrough also, I play unlocked. I was actually doing a challenge in my Elden Ring. I didn't tell anybody or didn't mention it. I might have one time, but I was playing unlocked that whole time. And, you know, to show people, like, you don't need to play locked on. For spears and rapiers, like, yeah, you probably should, unless you want to aim that crap. You're still going to miss sometimes against fast enemies. Yeah, that's the key. Every time I see someone get, you know, backstabbed over and over again, it's because they keep locking on. They're playing locked on. And I made that mistake, you know, back in the day when I was younger too, but as an adult, you just kind of adapt. And like, oh, I wish I got that on recording. This guy just kept trying to backstab fish me, and I was just like waiting. I stood there, and he tried to circle around me, and I just bopped him with the R1 wide sweep, and then he tried to circle on me the other way, bopped him, and it was just like perfect timing on my part. And yeah, it was pretty epic, but that was the only reason that happened is because I had a weapon with a wide sweeping motion. Trying to do it later with a vertical swinging weapon, it just won't happen.
We are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you. Oh my. Oh, I have to await my companion. So what if I would that? Very well. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness.
Let's move on from the PvP stuff. We'll get to it when it comes to it. But so as you can tell, I am not speedrunning. I am not trying to do anything crazy.
A lady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm. Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings
I'm doing a cinematic playthrough. You know, I like to appreciate the game. I hate when people just stare at the ground and sprint everywhere and kill everything as fast as possible. You know, I want people to appreciate the beauty of games more, because they're art. I hope someone can watch this and appreciate it. And then just show off Re-Remastered, of course. But yeah, I just want to get the full story. So as I was saying earlier, for posterity, someday I'm not going to be able to play these games. And even now, with the medication I take for my back, like, it zones me out. So when I need to, like, get adrenaline going, it's hard to get my adrenaline going. And then when I do, it usually gives me a headache afterwards. So it's like I'm trying to play super, super calm. And I've just never done that with these games. With these games, I used to, just like, you just need adrenaline to get going and do crazy stuff. So now I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to be extra calm, like super zen. And it's hard, especially when things get hairy. You make a mistake and you're one shot away from death, and you get invaded by a twink and all this stuff. But yeah, trying to appreciate the game. I'm not going to collect every item. But I would like to see almost everything. Because when I'm 80 years old, or even in a couple of years, when I use every weapon, I try every build, you know, there's going to be no reason for me to play it anymore. Especially if it's giving me headaches every time. So yeah. In 20 years, I'll be watching this again, even if other people don't. But again, please, if anybody's still watching, like, subscribe, comment, so I know that you're watching and want more. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go at my own pace, which it could be slow depending on how I feel. Yeah, I am still playing Dark Souls 3 because I'm trying to get 100% achievements on that. I already have 100% on Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Elden Ring. Bloodborne on PS4. Demon Souls didn't have achievements, I don't think. PS5 they might, but I don't know. I won't play Sekiro. I played Sekiro, but I just didn't like it. No customization, really weeby. No new weapons, just a couple arms, a couple abilities, that was it. So it's like if I played it again, it would be the same thing. So I just won't. Maybe one day. And already there was an update for Re-Remastered. I played Re-Remastered for like 2 days, and already there's another update. So it's like, oh, I gotta download freaking 15 gigabytes again. You know, the slow download on the Nexus. But they said they fixed a bunch of stuff, and you know, this mod's not perfect yet. That's why they're still updating it. There's still some. You'll notice there's visual bugs in places, but I just don't point them out because overall it's better than Remastered. A lot of people complain on the Nexus and say like they gripe about the little things, but I don't think it's necessary for the scope of this mod. Like to watch the ghosts makes me feel better about myself, and it reminds me of, you know, the first couple playthroughs I did. Because now, as you can see, I'm just like, I'm backstabbing everything, parrying everything, and it's like there's only a couple parts that are really challenging. And even the couple times I do die in these first few videos that I'll be uploading, it's like I was just being stupid, you know. When I'm playing this, it's not during the day, it's at night. It's like 2, 3, 4 a.m. So, like, if I seem slow and lethargic, it's because I am. But that's, like, the only time I can actually play is when my wife and daughter go to bed. So just keep that in mind, that all these future videos, most likely I'm probably dead tired, and I should go to sleep, but I don't want to because I want to play. And also in the next video, you'll see me doing like co-op and stuff, or trying to do co-op. This game is pretty dead anyways, and I'm in South America, so my connection is not too great. And then, yeah, I'm playing in the middle of the night, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of rough trying to get co-op. And I'm trying to join the Sun Bros, so I gotta get summoned a few times to lower my requirement. Yeah, it's not working, but I'll let you guys see that next episode. Sometimes you'll see me like look or go in the wrong place. It's because I've played this game quite a bit in the past, but I haven't played for a couple years, so a lot of this stuff I genuinely don't remember. Like you saw me look left at that exit, like I just am tired and I'm just like, I don't remember. And that R2, oh, that R2 kept messing me up. You'll see me with that R2 a bunch of times. Accidentally jumping because I'm so used to other maces and hammers, or just the regular vertical slam. Normally I don't talk so much, but there's a lot of things I want to get out of the way in this first episode, but I think in the next episodes I'll try not to talk so much. I usually don't, unless I got something important to say that, you know, is valid for what I'm doing. And these series were planned, I plan on them being streams. Like my Elden Ring videos, those are mostly streams. But the thing is, being here in South America, man, it's not that great. And two, I'm on the other side of the house. I say house, but in South America, most people live in like shacks or garages. So we're basically in a garage. And it's all concrete, and the Wi-Fi thing is across the house. So the Wi-Fi is trash, so I have to run an Ethernet cable all the way up here. But for those who know Ethernet cables, they don't all fit perfectly. So like if I sneeze or scratch my nuggets, like it'll unplug. So it just makes me really anxious when I'm streaming or like any of that, because of like if I sneeze or my daughter comes in and bumps the cord or something like that, it's gonna stop the stream. Or if I'm doing PvP or I'm doing co-op and, you know, like something like that, the Ethernet cable gets, you know, jimmied. Just, it's not that it falls out. It's just you touch it and it disconnects. So sometimes it'll disconnect and the Wi-Fi will kick in right away, but sometimes it doesn't. The Wi-Fi is really bad at the moment, and then I sneeze and it unplugs, so it's just a pain in the butt. So these first couple of videos are going to be me recording and then talking over it. Because like I said, I can't talk like this at night. My daughter and wife will hear me and they won't be able to sleep and they'll get pissy at me. So that's why I'm talking over it right now. And then even if I do stream at night, I'm not going to be able to talk. And then, yeah, forgot what I was going to say after that.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale. Thank you kindly. Oh, you again. I hope you've brought plenty of souls. Oh, thank you. Oh, you again. I hope you've brought plenty of souls. Oh, thank you. Oh, I hope you... Oh.
As I said in the beginning, my ultimate plan with this build is to try the Manus Catalyst and the Intelligence and Faith, but before then, I don't want to do Magic because I've done that before. Magic is OP in the original Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and I've done that. You know, you go through the whole game with Crystal Soul Spear and then the homing Crystal Soul Mass. I've done that. I've done that in NG Plus too, and it was a lot of fun. But I don't want to do another. It would just be boring to watch. You just watch me delete everything from 20 feet away. But I will use magic as utility until I get more toward the end game and get like Manus Catalyst and that kind of stuff. So for now, what my plan is, I'm gonna run down to Blight Town and I'm gonna use the Butcher Blade. And I have never used the Butcher Blade before. Apparently it's pretty good. I didn't know that at the time, but now I do. So it's like, you know, I said I wasn't gonna try to be meta, but it's like, in these older Souls games, like every weapon is good in its own way. It's not like really good, like super meta, like the Spy Hander or the best stock, you know, rapier, Baldur's Side sword, that kind of stuff. And so far, well, I'll just wait till we get there. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Run down to Blighttown, and you can see at one point I kind of, yeah, right here, yeah, I stop and I'm like, should I do this? Can I do this? I'm like, because I haven't done this stuff in years, and you know, I haven't ran down to Blighttown in even more years. Usually even if I have the master key, I'll go the right way. Yeah, see right here, I'm like, nope, I don't think I can do this. I'm like, can I kill the Beatrice or whatever her name is for the blade? I'm like, I don't know. I might lose this one humanity I got. Should I just go the general? I'm like, well, YOLO. I mean, I think I can do it. I've ran down to Blighttown at level 1 before, so I think I can do it. It's just been a while. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, so I came down here after pausing for a moment. And also, I don't think I ever used the reinforced club either. But I get rid of it quite quickly, of course. But normally I would use the Morning Star. I know it's worse than the reinforced club, but I just love the way it looks. So for me, I usually go fashion over, you know, function. In every Souls game, you know, when I was a kid, the first couple times you play, you know, you go meta, you use a meta weapon, you optimize your gear, you go for max defense, max poise, you don't care what you look like. But nowadays, you know, I try to just look good, you know. That's most important to me, because you're staring at your character every second that you're playing. So it's like, you want to look good, and you want to look good for other people as best you can. In Souls 1, there's not many armors, but in like the other Souls games, you can kind of look a little better. Now here, I was going for the tin catalyst, whatever it's called, and the crimson gear, but I forgot where it was, so I was like looking around. Was just like, oh my goodness, like I forgot about these toxic dart spitter guys. I'm gonna say, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, I gotta do something. I'm like, well, maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed the branch I'm supposed to go over. So I think I went back up here just to double check that I didn't miss it, or get a bird's eye view to look down, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's down there. I gotta pass that toxic dart spitter. Oh jeez. Let's watch someone die to make myself feel better. the thing with recording is, it's just, you never want to look stupid, you know, unless you're trying to be funny. So I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do here? Like, I gotta dodge, roll, and then I gotta hit him, and I don't want to look stupid, and I don't have any moss clumps either. Boom, got him. I was like, yes. One hurdle is complete. On to the next. Going across that stupid branch, getting shot at by the other toxic guy. Tin banishment catalyst. I'm like, yep, mission accomplished. But now, do I want to just use that catalyst and go intelligence, or do I want to stick with my guns and go get the butcher blade from Melinda the Butcher? I'm like, so you'll see me think about it. And at one point, I go back up after I go down, and then I just commit. And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to go human either, because I'm gonna friggin' get invaded by a twink or a cheater. So I'm just like, yeah, you see me going back up. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think anything is up here. I think I went up to here to explore, actually. You're wondering why I have the crossbow bolts on. You know, I hate that they stick out super far, but I like that they cover the rump, because I hate staring at that. And it's like, it's super weird for other people who don't play Souls when they look like, oh, what you playing? And you're running around naked, like your ass is hanging out, you know. And it's just like, it's just weird. So it's just like, just cover that up a little bit. Like, you don't need to see that. My 4-year-old doesn't need to see that. So yeah, that's why even later you'll see that I keep the bolts on, even though I don't really need them. And you'll notice sometimes I'm kind of slow to switch my weapons or lock on. That's because I play with a different control scheme. You know, when I was young and before you could change the keybinds for everything, I always played with the default control. So lock on would be a right click, and switching your weapons would be the D-pad and stuff, left and right. But I've gone through so many controllers, and the first thing to go and start drifting always is that right stick from the clicking. And then 2, I'm starting to get carpal tunnel on my right thumb from, you know, gaming and, you know, being tense playing these crazy games. And then when you use the controller, use your right thumb for everything, especially if you don't play claw, which I don't. Nowadays I'm trying to learn, so a lot of times I'm playing claw now. So I got 2 things that are affecting my muscle memory. I got new keybinds. Now I use the right on the D-pad to lock on, and I use select to switch my right-hand weapon, and then to use gestures, I use the right click. So I try not to use gestures a lot, but I'm so used to using gestures, I like to be polite and whatnot, or add character, because gestures are cool. So I do click the right stick sometimes, even though I don't want to, just to save my controller, and then just save my thumb. Yes, I'm playing Claw, and I'm playing with... Yeah, I've never played Claw. I just started playing Claw, like, a couple months ago, because it's like, it really helps your thumb, but sometimes I can't. Like, when things get hectic, I'll switch back to the regular grip. When I'm just cruising around, I try to play Claw. So yeah, you'll see me make some mistakes sometimes. My muscle memory wants to click that right stick and switch my grip. I thought local would have been just like South America or something, because at least if I got invaded, it'd be a good connection. But apparently that only means like everywhere but Japan. So that's just really odd that they would put Japan on their own region. That's what it says on the internet anyways, but at the time I didn't know that. But luckily I didn't get invaded here anyways. It was pretty late. But sometimes people still invade late, and they're always twinking or cheating. Right here, I'm like, oh no, like, please, like, if I get killed, I mean, it's not a big deal because I rested at the bonfire, but it's like, I just don't want to lose my humanity already. Because that'll save me a humanity when I want to kindle the next bonfire, of course. So right here, I'm like, I'm not going to parry, because I don't remember how much damage she does either. I know in the other games, if you can get like one shot at low HP, but in this game, she actually doesn't do too much, I don't think, but I didn't want to find out. Yeah, normally I was like thinking, oh, I should just parry this, but I'm like, if I mess up, she might one-shot me. Like, I don't want to take a chance. I can just keep backing up and poking her. It looks stupid, but it'll get the job done. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal these days, but I remember back in the day, like, running down to Blighttown and back up like this was always like a gamble. So yeah, I was pretty hyped. But I know these days, you know, everybody and their grandma could do it. But to me, it's still a big deal, because when I was a kid, it was a big deal. Or a young adult, too. Yeah, I think I'll just cut it here. There's like 10-20 minutes left. Yeah, 20 minutes left, but I think I already said everything I wanted to say. So thank you to anybody who's been watching this whole time, and stay tuned for the next episode. And if nobody's watching, which I wouldn't be surprised, because my Dark Souls 3 videos have been super trash. I know Dark Souls has a lot of competition, and most people, they want to watch, you know, speed runs or really sweaty PvP. That kind of stuff. I mean, I get it. I used to do it when I was younger, but now you know. But thank you to anybody who's watching, and if nobody's watching, then hello to me 5, 10, 20 years from now. And peace out. See you in the next one. And I got the second one coming out. But it's like I don't want to stream, dude. Like I'm tired. Just doing normal stuff, taking care of my daughter, playing with my daughter, doing chores. Remember, in South America, like everything is harder because you gotta wash the dishes, you gotta do the clothes by hand, you gotta do everything by hand. Just the simple stuff. Everything is, you can't even drink the water. Like normally, like you want some water, like you just go to the faucet and drink some water. But like here, you gotta boil your water. So it's just like everything. There's an extra step. It's just exhausting, and then it's hot. And yeah. So probably not gonna stream. I might just record another video. But I want to stream. So get ready for a stream one of these days. Peace.
Oh, still think it never hurts to splurge when you're down. Oh, thank you. Come back soon.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind. Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body,
like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.